this meeting?
Yep.
What is happening? It's like someone's calling. Oh no.
Someone
Okay.
trying to connect.
This agenda, do you have it before your eyes for the agenda?
Yes, I have.
So
I think I can share my screen and it will be useful for us.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know what you talked about on a previous meeting. So let's go.
But you see, I'm talking about the Google Docs meetings. Like we need to walk through look through this stuff because kind of the official agenda.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
I know that we were supposed to have a channel in Slack for the internationalization team. Do you know anything about it? Like where
yes, I know, but it's not on current Node.js. I think it's not here. I have it, but I can't open it now on the current machine.
So you see on the agenda we have like a question of roles, but we cannot talk about it like right now because we have nobody else. I guess so. Or you like?
I just want to. I don't know. I've told you updated news about translation process. That is everything that I know for now, and I think for current moment it's not. This agenda is not very. I don't know.
Up to date?
Useful and updated, yeah, because this is open question that we had on a 2 meetings before is about roles, and it's still not ready to start, I don't know, brainstorming about that. So for now, I had a credentials to the Crowd.in, and I started working on an integration, and hopefully it will be done by the next week, because on previous I had some ill and it was awful. But for now I'm ready to work, and I hope to have some progress with that. So Zeke helped me with credentials, and now I have 2 projects that connected to Crowd.in successfully. Crowd.in. And yes, I
so
think.
you're the only one working on translation right now, or there are also other?
Just I don't know. I don't want to get too much attention to my person, but in general, yes. Now I am working on a integration process, and then when it will be done, we can start the translation process, because it's like a separate tasks. But it's my task is blocking translation process. So yeah.
That's what I meant. Like I was thinking you're already translating. I was just wondering how many people are there involved.
From translation perspective or from programming perspective? Because
I was thinking that the translation process already started.
It started, but it should be updated, and I'm working on updates.
So it doesn't make any sense to join now. I mean, the translation thing.
It makes sense, but I think no. I think you can start it at any time when you have, because we will migrate the whole progress that we already have to a new project, and it will not lose somewhere. So
you mean we're
don't worry about it.
Surely not losing any data.
No, we shouldn't. So it will be not translated. It will be moved from a previous project to a new, and it will be okay. But it's not ready yet, unfortunately. And as I said, I hope I will work with that on the current week, and hopefully I will done with it. So yeah. But for now, it's really great news, because we finally get this integration, and it's like a 1 year, no, half of year is almost half of year. I waiting for this integration, and finally it's done. So it's really great news, and I hope it's unblock me, and it will then the progress will go more faster than before. That's actually everything that I have, and I'm not sure that we should discuss something more because my task is blocking all other tasks. Oh, okay. And one more thing is about glossary. Glossary, or how it should be pronounced.
I have a question. Who is in charge for adding new members to the this project? I mean, crowding project, because yeah, we
For
did.
now, here's a list of persons who can add a manager. No, I'm not sure that I can. Let me check. Members.
So I mean, can you add me right now here, or shall I wait for something else? I don't know. Or how is it? The process is done.
What is your ID? Is
I'm not sure. I know that I'm registered, but I'm not. I don't really. Let me just check it because I did register like a while ago. But I think that this one is not. The username is different.
okay. I can give you permissions as a manager, and as a proofreader, I can send you the link, and you will.
Let me see if I can just. Maybe I should.
So you didn't join it before?
Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But you know, these fields are auto-filled. Maybe I did. Okay.
Just try to log in, and probably you
If
have
there's
some.
nobody else here, it could be like maybe good to just. Yeah, my email is already in use, so yeah.
Okay, so send me. And I think in this video it will be great guide how to start working with crowdin for new translators. So I think it's very useful.
But you already through this process, if I remember correct. Mhm. Okay, let me just reset my password. Okay. I mean that I should know that how to work with it because I work on other translation projects like translating subtitles for some series. I think that it's kind of similar to that.
Yeah,
Oh, the UI
I'm
is
just talking about system. So yeah.
okay. Let me just find this reset link. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm almost done. No terms and privacy policy. Oh, shit. Accept.
Hello, Zach, are you here?
Somebody joined?
Seems like that.
Oh, that's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me just check
Zach
my
is here.
username. Settings. Settings.
Cool. So by the time the Galina is configuring their account, Zach, really thank you for your investigation in the process, and you finally unblocked me. It's really cool. Unfortunately, I had some ill on previous week, and I haven't the chance to start working with that. Can you invite me to how to do this? Let me see.
So,
Okay.
Alexander,
And
I sent my email to the chat, so you can add me on Crowdin project. Turning on the video, you should be able to manage the participants here. There's an organizer of the conference call.
okay, so now it should be okay. I think it's not an email. It should be. Okay, let's try another way. Is translator. No, I
I
think you
just
just.
find the username field, well, my settings.
I think you can just go by the URL, and it will be better for us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you.
cool. I still can't start my video. It says the host has stopped it.
I don't know how to do. Oh, no. Sorry. Okay, let's try again. And
Yeah, please try again. It seems like even I can do that.
try now.
There we go. Okay.
Okay,
Yay!
cool.
Hi.
Hello.
So, what are you up to here? You're trying to add.
Yeah, we're trying to add Galina to the project as a proofreader.
Cool. Hi, Galina.
Hey,
I'm Zeke.
thank you for that.
So just so you know, my name is pronounced like this, Zeke.
Zeke. Okay.
Not like Ze. Okay.
Zek. Okay. Sorry, it's Slavic pronunciation. So
that's how basically everyone who's not from the United States reads it like Zeke. So you're not alone.
Sorry for that.
No problem.
I was thinking it. Okay. So it worked, and I'm successfully added. Thank you, Alexander.
That's
Yay,
great.
cool. So now, Galina, you have a proofreader rights for, I don't know, for a whole project, but no, it should be.
It says, welcome to Node.js translations, a Node.js crowding project.
Oh, yeah, and?
This is the full one, right? The whole one. I guess so. It looks awesome.
So Alexander,
I could have missed your meetings before because I was busy with other community things, initiatives, like needed to sort out some things. And my question was like, how do I get on board, with the crowding thing, with the Slack chat? So we have Slack chat.
Yeah, we have.
So yeah, if you could invite me by email too. And Zeke, are you already in that chat?
actually, I haven't joined it in a long time. I can't remember. What is the?
But you can. It's open Slack. You can join this to it by default.
I don't even know the URL. I don't know anything about how
Let
to do.
me try to find it.
Just Ben told me that we're gonna have a Slack channel, and that was all.
Okay, let's go through the full.
So Zeke, do you have any news, or I just know what you've been working on?
Sure. So I haven't been working on this project much, but I'm really glad that it's picking up steam again. I work at GitHub, and I work on localizing GitHub's documentation. So eventually I want to get back into doing this work more. Okay, Node.js. One question that I did have is, I wonder where we stand with having these two crowd-in projects. Do we still need two, or what's the difference between them?
Yes, this is things we need to discuss, because this is what I'm thinking now. So yeah, before it was the idea like to make a few projects, one for API docs, one more for Node.js website, and one for new version of Node.js website. And for now, we are free to choose any way that we want, and we can, I don't know, pull all data for translations to one repo and make it as one project on a crowdin. So we need to think about projects on Crowdin like a repository on GitHub. And if we have two different repos for API docs and websites, it makes sense to have a few different projects. For now, Node.js Webs, you was created a project for me for a website, but then I renamed it to API docs, and that's my fault because I tried to force in some way the translation process to update it in some way. Yeah.
That's fine.
And
yeah.
now it should be translated back, renamed back to Node.js website. And we should pull to this project the Node.js website data. And also we should update Node.js project on the Crowdin. So let me
Got it. Okay.
think somewhere here. Crowdin. Profile. So yeah, I think this project should be renamed. It's my just I don't know. It's my semantic approach to to rename this. I don't know, to something. Oh, I haven't access to.
Let me see if I can access that.
Yes, I have. I can call it like API docs.
Okay.
Something like. Okay. Let's go back. Firstly, we need to rename this one
Okay.
to Node to node.js.org update. I think it's okay. Yes. And then we are going to this one should be like API docs. Yeah, cool. And
okay,
now it shouldn't confuse anyone. Then I'm going to where is it? Integrations. Yeah, here now we have integration with the same repo for API docs, but we need to replace it with a node.js.org repo.
Okay, got it. Hey, can we actually can you change the names to match the URL? So instead of nodejs.org, can we call this nodejs-website?
Mm-hmm. Makes sense, but with the previous one, I think it's not possible. No, it's possible, but
it's the same. It's the same, right? Oh, that one's called Node.js.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, it's weird or not.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's okay.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, so Node.js website, and new version of website, we can, I don't know, create Node.js new website, something like that.
So is that progress? So is that website still, I mean, that's been like 2 years now that people have been working on the new website. Is it still happening, or do you know what the state of that is?
On the previous Saturday, I had a call with a team of new website, and yeah, they also have some stale period, but now they are started again, I don't know, forcing everyone to implement something. They have my pull request with the most, I don't know, as they say, it is the most popular PR on their meetings because they're discussing.
Yeah.
So, but I did it maybe in September of previous year, but it's still in progress. So yeah, it's in progress, and I hope they will finish in a few years.
What's the best way to get for me to join those meetings? Like, what repository do they use, or where are those meetings hosted?
Oh, let me. I think it's Node.js dev, if I'm not wrong. What is going on? And let me see. I just want to confirm some. Yeah, here one. I can send you by chat. So
Yeah,
here
by
you
the way,
can.
yeah, unfortunately, I cannot sign in to the workspace on Slack because I don't have an invite email. It's like you're saying it's open, but I cannot if I have no invite. So I guess I need to receive it before.
Send me email.
The same I have in the
Okay,
chat.
okay.
Same one.
I don't know. You need to change this one
Okay,
later.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And by the way, considering the meetings, there's also the calendar for meetings of various working groups. I think it's actual, right? Like you just Google Node.js calendar or something.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Can you share that?
I'll try. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Never heard about it. About some calendar for the all meetings, or
Oh, yeah, there's that calendar. I'll find it. Yeah.
okay. So the things we discussed is, oh yeah, the misunderstanding with the names of projects is solved now, I hope. The second thing is Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke, yeah, you need, if you can, could you please reintegrate this project with another one?
Okay, sure. Let's try and do that right now. So
Yeah, with Node.js.org, and then I will handle everything from my side. I'm not sure that we need to remove something before reintegrate. I think it shouldn't be an issue. They should handle it by their side, but let's see.
okay, let me see if I can log in. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I'm able to. So do we need the same kind of token that we had last time with repo scope and?
Yeah, it's the same thing. But yeah, I think if you have access to the GitHub account, you can just click, I don't know, delete integration and edit, and it will be. And then you just pick an option from a list of repos.
Okay.
I'll just send Node.js Foundation calendar to the chat.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, thank you.
Sometimes it's not like actual up to date, but still I think it's helpful. Like today there's no this meeting we're having, yeah. It's ET time, I guess. Oh no. Okay.
Sorry, I'm having to gather a bunch of passwords to make this happen.
Seems like it's actual information.
Yeah.
But here is no meeting about Node.js.dev, and I think here is a problem of scope, like Node.js Foundation or com or all of this stuff. Probably.
But the internationalization initiative is also community committee initiative. It's like maybe different working groups, a little bit not in sync with each other on this calendar.
Yes. Oh, seems like they have on Tuesday some call. Not just a website redesign meeting. Somewhere here. Okay, so this is a great link. I will save it, and then we'll research.
So just a quick question. We're talking right now about the project's migration, right? Or anything else, a table like to discuss or help with, like, yeah, I just need to be in the context of what we are going to discuss in the time that we have left.
I don't know. For now, we are talking with Zeke about integration. That's what I think Zeke is trying to handle from their side. And actually, we have one more thing is great to discuss is about glossary updates. Sorry, I need to know how this word's pronouncing.
Glossary. You mean like we need to define the glossary before we go on with the translations?
No,
Just like
it's glossary. It's already created and merged, if I'm not wrong, somewhere here.
But isn't it just something that it's is updated while we progressing with?
Yeah, it can be updated, of course, and
You
it's
mean like technical side? Okay.
yes, 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 it is.
Because the last time I was at the meeting, we were talking mostly about translating things. So yeah.
But it's related to translating things, and this is we need to pass these steps, and just then it will start. So here's a list of words. If I'm not wrong, you can just check it on a GitHub site.
Yeah, sure.
I can send the link. And here, if you will have some words to this glossary, you can just create a pull request, and then it will be merged to Crowdin. It's actually a good point to write the guide. Yes.
So what you're saying is basically we can edit things on both sides, both from GitHub and Crowdin now with this integration?
I think better to go through GitHub, go to this way, GitHub, Crowdin, GitHub. So if we want to change glossary, we're changing it on GitHub, and then Crowdin pull these changes to Crowdin side.
Yep.
And
but can we manage it from Crowdin side? Like maybe somebody who's gonna join us, who will be joining us on this initiative, will not be that familiar with GitHub. That could happen, like a pure.
Probably it's possible. I'm not very confident with that, but possibly if it's already merged and it's already let's see. Yeah, it's possible. And but I'm not sure about the possibility to push it to GitHub. I will confirm it with a Crowdin team.
So there's actually a setting in here on the project where you can disallow translators from editing the glossary here, so that you don't actually accidentally add terms that will get deleted by the GitHub integration. So it's somewhere under, maybe in the settings, the little thing on the left.
But does it make sense to disallow this thing? I mean, with some level of access, is a
Hello,
proofreader
translator. Here's this option.
available for...
yeah, I guess the issue is that a lot of the glossary terms are generated by a script that looks for all of the Node.js API names and things like that. So the script, I think, could get out of sync with what's in Crowdin. It's possible that there's an API that we could use to pull down the existing, basically to sync it in both directions, but I haven't investigated that. So
the reason is primarily, not primarily, but like it's the only reason is technical, right? Not just not permission to do something.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, can I share my screen for a second? I have a question.
Of course, of course.
Okay. So I just recreated this integration on the Node.js website project. added a token, a new token from the GitHub user. But I don't actually see any repositories to connect to other than this one. So I think what I need to do is open a new issue, or unless we have an existing issue, asking that this GitHub user be allowed to integrate with repositories other than this one.
Yes, I think yes.
Okay.
So this GitHub user just have an access to one repository, right?
I guess so, yeah.
And one more thing, could you open GitHub site of this user and probably in apps somewhere, I don't know. And you connected it with personal access token, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I created a, let's see, where are the tokens? Maybe they're in here. Okay, personal access tokens. Yeah, just created this one here.
Oh, sorry guys, we have two other people who are just so they are just like participants. I didn't see them. We like there's 5 of us here right now, but we should invite them as we should like give permissions to say something to. Okay, I'll try that. No, we just didn't notice that.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Alexander, yeah.
Yeah, I already.
Yeah.
Hey guys, hey Ben, David.
Sorry to interrupt. I was just listening. I happened to be on YouTube and I saw you guys were streaming, so I figured I'd join. And then I heard Alexander mention the website, and I was like, I'm working on that website.
Oh, cool.
So hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Ben, I have a question for you.
Sure.
It seems like at some point we need to bridge the gap between the localized Node.js content and the new website. So do you have a sense of what kind of, I'm assuming we're going to publish a Node module. That's kind of the conversation that's happened to date. If you were using a Node module in the new website that contained all of the website content in different languages, do you have a sense of what kind of API you might want to be able to do that? Has that, or has there been a discussion around that? Like the
Not really.
Okay.
Right now, the discussions have been just what is the minimum requirements. There was like an OKR document within the redesigned site that discusses minimum features, and I think the internationalization might be on it. I know I recently merged the footer with the selection of different languages. As far as how it switches, I'm not sure. I really haven't thought that far on how to implement it.
So this footer that switches different languages, does it actually?
Right now, it's just a drop down, drop down that has a list of languages. It doesn't do anything.
Zeke,
Okay.
I think you haven't any. You haven't idea what is the state of the new website is now, and I don't know. I can I can explain. So the step is the project structure initialization, something like that. So we are going to have tomorrow a big call to discuss to finalize the file structure, to finalize the packages and frameworks that we are going to use, because we still have some discussions. Do we want to use SCSS or just simple CSS and talks like this? So it's too early steps to think about content. No, it's okay to think about it, but it's too early still.
Okay.
Like that. But my question is about NPM model. I've never researched about it because I saw many issues on a GitHub site for localization initiative about NPM model, but I've never researched about it. Could you explain what is this? What is the idea of that?
Yeah, so the idea would be that you could, when working on the website, you could npm install Node.js i18n, and then you would basically have all of the content living inside of that module in all the different languages. And there would be some way to use a JavaScript API to access all of those files. So it could just be that it's a node module that doesn't really do anything except transport a bunch of markdown files into your node modules directory, or it could be something that also has a JavaScript API where you could require it and then say like, give me all of the docs for English node 12, and it would return like an array of all the files, and then you could use that to iterate over the files and process them from Markdown into HTML or something like that. So the content right now, it looks like it's about 400 megabytes of worth of Markdown files, which is pretty surprising.
Wow.
But I guess it continues to add up as we introduce more languages and support more versions of Node. So it's not the kind of thing where you can just bundle it all into one JSON object that's really easy to like require. So I'm thinking what we probably want is to just have preserve the directory structure that we have in i18n, where you have a directory called content, and then the versions, and then the languages in each version, and then some small JavaScript API to sort of list or search through all of that content to be able to do something with it on the new website. So maybe the first step is for me to open an exploratory pull request on i18n that says, here's what a module could look like. Does this work for people? Do we want to try it out? And you can actually npm install things directly from GitHub. So we could, without actually publishing to npm, you can do something like npm install Node.js i18n
Content.
test API like this. Sorry, I'm trying to type something in Zoom here, and it's trying to fix my npm typo for me. There we go, like that. So if you npm install something like that with a slash in it, it assumes that you're talking about a GitHub repository. So we could make a test API like that, just sort of an experiment. And this could be used to see what kind of API would be ideal for actually using this content on the new website.
Yeah, I have a few questions and doubts about this. So first thing is new website is going to use GraphQL, and here's no problems with the big amount of data. And yeah, and also they are using Gatsby. That's like a pre-render Jamstack, so no any big data on a final build. So here's no any problems with that. Second thing is making translation, making the all content by an npm model is really useful if we are going to reuse it somewhere on any other project. But does it really have a big sense for using in this this content just in one project and create a npm model for that? Because from my point of view, if we are going to handle all content by crowd-in, and we have some separate folder for content, and we are translating, generating different folders under content, like N and UK, Russian, so for all locales. And yeah, does it make sense to move it to npm model? Because for me, it's not.
Yeah, well, another way that it could be done is to use Git submodules, where you actually have inside your checkout of the Node.js website, you would have your checkout configured to have a submodule that also checks out Node.js i18n into a subdirectory. And then you would always be able to just update that module, submodule rather. But Git submodules are very difficult to work with. People get confused. They don't behave as you would expect them to. They work differently on different versions of Git. They're not great. But it would be one way to just be able to easily kind of take all that content and put it into the website repository without having any other moving parts like an NPM module. So it's a trade-off maybe in terms of like how easy it is to configure the website to use it.
Here one more thing is like more general, but it's related to this question. We already have a repo i18n, and it's contain API docs content. And here we have all discussions, all stuff for that, but it's a bit inconsistent to have just content for docs in this repo and have content for websites in a different repos. It's a bit inconsistent, and probably it will be better if we will have a repo for API docs and contain the whole content related to this on a separate repo. Content for website, we will have another repo. We already have it. And for a new website, we also have a separate repo, and we have separate project on a CrowdIn, something like that. Or another way is to push all content to i18n repo and create separate folders for that. For example, docs, Node.js website, and Node.js new website, and then connect it with CrowdIn, and we will have one project and something like that. Because we need to decide the way that we are go, because for now it's inconsistent, and I don't want to continue going with this way, because we are on initial step and we can easily for us to fix this at the start point. What do you think?
Well, it's kind of tricky because the API documentation is written inside of the Node.js project, and that's not going to change. So we also don't want, I mean, we had a long discussion in the beginning about did we want to just integrate CrowdIn directly to the Node.js / Node project, which we don't want. So that's where i18n repository was born. So I think that makes sense. The website, however, the source content for the website should ideally live in the website repository. Otherwise, when you're working on the website, you have this kind of disconnection where you have your CSS and your HTML or whatever in your website repository, but all the content in Markdown lives somewhere else. And how do you bring the two together? Like if you want to open a pull request to add a new document, like where does it go? So I think having the website have its own CrowdIn integration actually makes sense. But I agree that there is this disconnect in that Node.js i18n is called i18n, but it's not all of the internationalization stuff,
it's
right?
like
it's
a mirror for API docs.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we could clarify that by changing the name of that repository to
it's probably a good way.
Something. We could also just update the repository README to clarify that there are multiple internationalization projects. This is one of them, but there's another one on the Node.js.org or Node.js.dev or whatever it is.
Yeah, you got that right. Node.js.dev.
Okay. So you said there's a meeting tomorrow?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, 11 to 4.
Oh, you're talking. So that is like a working session, kind of. It's called like a little hackathon. So that's what that is.
What is the difference between hackathon and
The one on Thursday. So the one on Thursdays every other week or every 2 weeks is we discuss anything that has the label website redesign as a label. So any issues. The ones on the weekend is I don't know why it's called a hackathon. It's not really a hackathon. It's more like some live pair programming for anybody that wants to actually contribute. So that's the difference. For the last few weeks or last month or so, it's been me, Salo, and Sala. And that's it. But I think this weekend, DV, are you going to join?
What happened?
Are you going to join this weekend?
Yeah, I am. I'm joining tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So that's the difference. It's more like it's a Zoom call, but it's live pair programming on anything that we want to work on together. So it's more like a working session than a meeting, I guess.
So how can I join that meeting? Is there an issue for that somewhere?
Yeah, there is a issue labeled hackathon and then the date.
Oh, that's the one that Alexander just shared with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also there's the OpenJS Slack. There's a channel called Website Redesign or Node.js dash website redesign, something like that.
Wait, so that's different from the Node.js Slack?
Yeah, so the OpenJS, I know it's confusing. So I guess under the OpenGS Foundation, they're paying for that Slack. So it was suggested to move to that one because, in a free Slack, after like 10,000 messages, things start disappearing. So that's why we moved to that.
Do we have a channel on the OpenJS chat?
Yeah.
Slack, because I'm part of the OpenJS Slack, but I'm not sure if there's a channel.
There's a channel. If you click on channels, you'll see Node.js dash website
redesign. Yeah.
How do I get into that Slack?
Let's try.
It actually should be on the Node.js website under maybe community. I don't know where. It's just like the Open Slacker or the Node.js Slacker. There's like a auto invite, but I think Alexander or maybe I can also send an invite.
Yeah, I can try. Just a second. So yeah, it's member. Okay. I don't know, multi-channel member. I think member. Zeke, could you provide your email, please?
Yeah, Alexander, add me to.
Okay. Whoa, all of this? Okay. Okay, sent. So try to connect, and here is the channel Node.js website redesign. Yeah, seems like we done with it. So
Node.js Slack, and we were talking about OpenJS Slack, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
It's OpenGS Foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just received an invite to Node.js again. I was thinking you were inviting to OpenJS.
Let me double check.
The same workspace.
Yes, it's called OpenJS Foundation. That's the name.
It's OpenGS Foundation, and I think I sent. Yes, it's the right channel. Here's a channel Node.js.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We have two workspaces, not channels.
Yeah, it's two workspaces, and one of these is for Node.js.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I received only the one for Node.js, like again.
Zeke, Did you receive something? Let's try
No,
again.
I didn't get anything.
Oh, no, that was a welcome message, like welcome email on Node.js, like. So I didn't receive anything either.
Okay, let's try again. I have to complete. Send request. I already request. Okay, so we need to wait for admin or admin approve this request because I
Okay,
can't.
cool.
So sorry, I did everything that I can.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
I don't know. We can. I don't know who is admin, but let's see. I will ping here someone after call to not spend a lot of time for now, because we have just 4 minutes left. And
so I have to leave, but I will open an issue about the token, the integration for CrowdIn, getting access to the Node.js.dev repo for that.
And also a request for Node.js.dev.
Yeah. So guys, on the OpenGS.org, I included a link / collaboration. There's a invite. Where you click on the community inviter link under Slack. That should like self invite you. It's all automated.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Vic, could you please request permissions for both of the websites to not make a few different requests every time?
Sure.
So make please request for both of these.
.org and .dev. Okay, got it. And I'll
Thank
CC you on the issue just so you can follow along.
Okay, so yeah, thank you.
Nice to see you all. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thanks everyone for joining. See you on the next week. Bye.